Fear not, God rids you of your disgrace. Disgrace is the source of much of our fear. It is. Think about it. Think about the sins that you have hidden in your life. What would happen if they were found out? Does that scare you? Does that make you afraid? Well, perhaps you haven't fully realized the gospel in your life then yet. Because when the gospel is applied to your life as it's written in the scriptures, there is no fear because of disgrace. Here's the thing. You can rejoice because you have been found out. Everything God knows. Everything. And he still says, you're my son, you're my daughter by faith in Jesus Christ. He rids us of all the disgrace, all the anxiety as a result of our sin, a result of us fearing somehow that we're going to be found out. See, a Christian doesn't walk around with shame and fear that they're going to be found out. They know, I have been found out. I am a wretched sinner. I have been made clean by Jesus Christ. Fear not. Your disgrace is history. I read a story about a man who was addicted sexually, and he was married, children, had many children, was upstanding in the church, and he finally couldn't take it anymore. And so he went and he repented of his sin. He received counseling, and what he discovered was, I was never a Christian. Not because of the things that he had done, but because he didn't realize who Jesus was, that he'd done what he said he had done, that he is who he said he is, that he brings forgiveness, and it goes all the way down to the darkest sins. And so he went before the Lord, he repented of that sin. He went before his wife, he repented of that sin. He said, now there are still days I walk in joy, I rejoice, and then there's days where the shame starts to creep up on me and starts to kind of get its tentacles into my life. And it's those days where all of a sudden it's the best feeling in the world when I realize I've got no shame. Can you imagine that? It's kind of like when you have a nightmare about a college exam and you're 47 years old, you graduated 30 years ago. And you're like, I don't have a college exam. Praise Jesus. And it's so much greater than that, isn't it? It's like waking up from a nightmare and you realize everybody knows. You carry the shame around, you carry fear around. God comes in and says, I rid you of all that disgrace. You're shame-free. Those of you who aren't living shame-free, you might not know the gospel. God rids us of our disgrace. That's what he did for Elizabeth. That's what he did for Zacharias. Keep reminding yourself, no more disgrace.